It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by
ProMed Ambulance Services
and Beth Smith at Edward Jones.
Although he is best known for his brief stint as a member of the Three Stooges, comedian Joe Besser was successful on his own as well. He was born in St. Louis on August 12, 1907, the ninth child of Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe. From an early age, he was hooked on a career in show business. His first job was with famed magician Howard Thurston. After spending time in a reform school, Besser continued his showbiz career and developed a comic character, a man-child who was easily excitable and upset, throwing temper tantrums with little provocation. With outbursts like, "You crazy you," and "not so fast," or "not so hard." Before long, Besser became a vaudeville headliner, and movie and radio appearances soon followed. At one point, he toured in a comedy act with Jimmy Little as straight man. The comedy team of Olsen and Johnson, whose Broadway reviews were a fast-paced collection of songs and blackouts, hired Besser to join their company. Besser's noisy intrusions fit the Olsen and Johnson style perfectly, and Besser's work caught the attention of the Schubert brothers, who signed Besser to a theatrical contract. Columbia Pictures hired Besser away from the Schuberts, and he relocated to Hollywood in 1944, where he brought his comic character to feature films and his own series of two reel comedies. Besser had substituted for Lou Costello on radio, opposite Bud Abbott, and by the 1950s, he was firmly established as one of the Abbott and Costello regulars. When the duo brought their act to television in the form of a weekly series, they hired Besser to play Oswald Stinky Davis, a bratty, loud-mouthed child dressed in an oversized Little Lord Fauntleroy outfit, shorts, and a flat-top hat with an overhanging brim. The character was dropped in the second season. He also found time for other TV appearances on shows such as the Jack Benny program, whose radio counterpart Besser once guested on, The Millionaire, and the Colgate Comedy Hour. In 1956, Besser got the offer of a lifetime when he was named to replace Shep Howard in the Three Stooges upon the latter's death in 1955. Besser, still under contract to Columbia, proved the perfect fit, despite his differing character from Curly and Shep. He later said that his years with Mo Howard and Larry Fine were the best, though he acknowledged that he never liked to get hit. As a result, a clause was added to his contract that prevented him from getting hit so much. With Besser on board, the Stooge films began to resemble sitcoms, as TV was already popular, and by the time Besser joined the act, the Stooges were generally considered throwbacks to an obsolete era. In addition, Mo and Larry were growing older and could not perform the pratfalls they once did. After Besser joined the trio for the first time in their career, the Stooges did not make any personal appearances during their layoff season, which began in 1956. Besser appeared in the last 16 Three Stooges shorts, released between 1957 and 1959. In December of 1957, the Stooges' contract with Columbia was dropped, and the studio shut down its short subjects department after almost a quarter century. Besser was asked to continue his association with the trio and even join Bo and Larry on the road, but was forced to leave when his wife Ernie became ill. He continued to work in films and TV in the coming years, including a recurring role as Gilson the Superintendent on The Joey Bishop Show. His cartoon voice work includes the dragon on The Alvin Show, bubbling Genie Babu in Genie, inspired by I Dream of Genie, and as Scare Bear in Yogi Space Race. His career slowed somewhat after he suffered a minor stroke in 1979, resulting in considerable weight loss. Later in life, Joe Besser expressed some dismay that people only recognized him for his brief tenure with the Three Stooges, but eventually softened, realizing that the Stooges continued to bring him his greatest exposure. He was on hand when the trio was awarded a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 1983. In 1984, he published his autobiography, Not Just a Stooge. On March 1st, 1988, Besser died of heart failure at the age of 80. Following his death, his autobiography was retitled Once a Stooge, Always a Stooge. His cousin's grandson is improv comedian Matt Besser, born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia?
Then join me for Trivia Tracks weekdays at 6:45 on Everybody's Country Y95.